Think back to your school days. Was your classroom teacher-fronted or learner-centered? Have you wondered why teachers ask questions instead of just answering? Have you worked together with peers? Consider these questions and reflect on your experience. What kind of pedagogy will benefit your students in learning effectively? Hello guys, I'm Qianyu. Today in my channel, I will discuss pedagogy on Constructivism, which might help your students have a special learning experience. To provide more targeted help to pre-service teachers, I will take primary years as an example. Don't be sad if you're not in this education level. You can also learn the series and convert them to your age groups. Let's come to our first part. What is Constructivism and why is it so influential in education today? Constructivism suggests learning is an active process, which learners construct new knowledge by building on their previous knowledge and experience. Constructivism gained predominance in the 20th century, particularly through the work of Jean Piaget, Lev Vygotsky, and Bruner. It emphasized that learning is an active and dynamic process in which learners explore, experiment, and interact with their surroundings rather than passively receiving the knowledge from others. Lev Vygotsky developed social constructivism. He believes learning is a social interaction process rather than an individual journey. His key contributions to social constructivism are zone of proximal development and more knowledge for others. What is zone of proximal development? Well, ZPD refers to the gap between what the students already knows and can know with the guidance from more knowledgeable others. MKO can be someone or something that possesses more knowledge and will assist the learner in learning and bridging the gap. Although Vygotsky's life was short, his ideas inspired later series such as Bruner to expand on constructivism. Bruner introduced scaffolding and discovery learning, which is closely related to cognitive constructivism. Scaffolding refers to temporary support for students, helping learners gain knowledge or accomplish a task that the student cannot do independently. Often, MKO can provide this support. After the learner gains more knowledge and skills, the scaffolding can be gradually removed, allowing them to work independently. Well, scaffolding can be aligned with social constructivism when applied in social learning contexts, such as group activities. Another theory that Bruner introduced is discovery learning. It encourages students to actively construct knowledge rather than passively receive it. The teacher acts as a facilitator to guide students to explore concepts and draw their own conclusions rather than directly tell the answer. Students in discovery learning are having the chance to get the knowledge and interact with the surroundings by themselves. Now I believe you have learned more about constructivism. This may lead you to recall some memories of experiencing constructivism pedagogy as a student. Today, we will focus on Bruner's theory, and I want to share one of my experiences with you which I still benefit from today. When I first started writing stories in primary school, I found it difficult to structure my ideas. Instead of telling us how to write, my teacher asked guidance questions and encouraged us to explore different storytelling techniques. Initially, I struggled to begin, but with my teacher's guidance, I found different ways to organize my thoughts. Through this process, I gradually built confidence in writing a story, and after several lessons, I could write a story independently. Now, as an undergraduate student, I'm still confident in writing thousands of words essays. Woo! Okay, I hope my experience will help you gain confidence in conducting a constructivism class. And I know most of you can't wait to design a class on your own. So now let's do it together. We can design a class for Year 4 students to teach them changes in states. Step 1. We need to ask guidance questions rather than tell students the answer. For example, we can ask, what will you see when you boil water? After that, as a teacher, you can let the students think about what experiment materials will help them discover melting, evaporating, freezing, and condensation, and let them make hypotheses. At this initial process, you need to find out what the students already knows and provide each of them with appropriate help later. Step 2. The aim is to let the learner explore changes in states. You can give each student the materials they want to design an experiment. To ensure every student gains from this, you can provide extra materials for students who need them. You act as scaffolding to support the learners. For example, if some students are struggling with what is condensing, then you can let the learner put the tissue paper on the top of boiling water bottle and let the students observe. Here, you need to be careful that you need to gradually remove the spot and let the learner work independently. One point here is that you can also let the students work in groups, but you need to make sure that each student have their own responsibility to the experiment. Step 3 will be sharing, to tell other peers what they have found, what they observed, and what their conclusion is. After sharing their experiment, the teacher needs to encourage other students to ask questions. In the last step, you need to conclude the learner's findings and give out the right answer. To extend their knowledge, you can ask extended questions to encourage students to apply the learning in a real-life setting, such as how the air conditioner and heater work to make your room cooler and warmer. Okay, so that's all of our practice today. I hope this sequence of learning example inspire you a lot in your future designing class. And in the next part, let's discuss how constructivism affects students' engagement. Constructivism emphasizes student-centered learning, where students are supported in developing their own learning habits through questioning, experimentation, and social interactions. This may formulate their own explanations and problem-solving strategies, contributing to greater engagement during lessons. Apart from that, teachers and parents also play a crucial role in enhancing students' engagement. First, let's talk about the teacher. In the classroom, the teacher acts as scaffolding, providing spot to guide students. By assisting students, the teacher gradually reduces spot, fostering their confidence and independence in learning. This will increase the likelihood of engagement in the classroom in the future. Beyond classroom, parents also play a crucial role. Parents can provide a home environment to encourage learners' curiosity and exploration, such as doing home activities like planting flowers. These activities will enable the learner to have prior knowledge of a specific task in the actual setting and will motivate them to participate when they learn the related concept at school. Okay, now let's come to our last part of today, the critiques of constructivism. First, let's talk about strengths. Even though I have focused on primary years today, constructivism can be applied across all education levels, from preschool to higher education. To implement constructivism for different age groups, you can adjust activities and level of guidance accordingly. The second strength is that constructivism can foster students' critical thinking skills. Through exploration and interactions, students will have various opinions about a concept, allowing them to think from different perspectives. The third strength is that it benefits students' independent learning skills by allowing them to learn knowledge through exploration. This skill will help them able to learn different things in the future and benefit them all their lives. Apart from the variety of advantages, constructivism also has some drawbacks. It may not be suitable for all learners. Learning through constructivist pedagogy may challenge low-achieving students who find it difficult to learn through self-discovery and require more direct instructions from teachers. Secondly, implementing constructivism requires careful planning and extensive preparation to ensure the class can be finished within a limited time frame. If you want to conduct constructivism in a 45-minute class, then you have to design your class carefully to ensure that you will finish on time and your students are fully engaged. Lastly, constructivism is more suitable to conduct in a small classroom, approximately 10 to 15 students, rather than a large one, to ensure the teacher can provide sufficient guidance and scaffolding to each student. If the students have insufficient guidance, they may struggle in learning and may construct an incorrect understanding of a concept. Well, if you still want to conduct this in a large number of students, then adding a teaching assistant into the classroom will be helpful. The advantages and disadvantages of constructivism are not limited here. What other pros and cons can you think of? To conclude, I want to mention that none of the pedagogic theory is perfect. all suitable for all students. As a teacher, you have to adjust your teaching pedagogy in different lessons and encourage your students to participate. Some other resources may help you learn more about Constructivism. Thank you for your time with me today, and hope you are doing well in your teaching journey, and bye!